This is not just a football match, this is vengeance. This is a battle where honor and pride is on the line. This is Portugal versus Czechia. These two teams know what glory tastes like, and they also know the horrible taste of defeat. Speaking of defeats, Portugal have inflicted title-ending defeats on Czechia at different times. Will this be the time that Czechia will get their revenge? Welcome back to the football pit. Portugal's perfect 10. There have been criticisms surrounding Portugal lately about how they have been performing at the Euros, but more of that later in this video. Portugal have taken that criticism to heart as they mounted one of the most flawless Euro qualifying campaigns ever, with the now 39-year-old Ronaldo scoring 10 goals and missing opportunities to score more. They only conceded 2 goals in the qualifying stages and scored 34. Talk about overkill. When they played their last match of the qualifying stages against Iceland, Portugal had already qualified. A draw would suffice, but their ambition was on a different level. They went into the game strong, with Cristiano Ronaldo leading the line. Portugal showed no mercy as the whistle was blown. They kept possession cleanly, and by the end of the first half, they had managed 15 shots. Out of those 15 shots, 6 were on target, and out of those on target, Portugal only scored 1 in the 37th minute to break the deadlock. Portugal maintained their intensity after the second half, and their talisman Ronaldo still couldn't hit the back of the net. Eventually, after waves of pressure, Iceland cracked again, as Portugal scored the second goal to end off a perfect qualifying campaign. While Portugal will enter the competition on the back of excellent form, history has shown that an impressive qualifying campaign doesn't always mean complete dominance in the main competition. Portugal can't rely on past achievements. The only way to progress at the Euro is to look forward. Can Portugal manage that? Can they make a statement of intent by beating Czechia? Czechia's near Euro miss. While Portugal were steamrolling during the qualifying stages, Czechia had some problems. Their position was vulnerable. Their final 2 matches of the qualifying campaign seemed like 2 finals. In their match against Poland, things almost went sideways for them. Poland scored in the 38th minute through Piotrowski, who netted from close range for his first goal in his second appearance for the national team. Czechia midfielder Tomáš Souček scored to equalise for his country with a low shot, which made Poland search for a winner. They still had a chance for automatic qualification if they could scramble a win. However, despite creating nice chances, they were unable to regain the lead as Czechia held on. After the match, Czechia had 12 points, 2 points behind leaders Albania, who had qualified with a 1-1 draw away to Moldova earlier, and 1 point ahead of third-placed Poland. They weren't out of the woods yet, but with at least a draw against Moldova, they could get to their 8th successive appearance at the Euros. Czechia only needed a draw against Moldova, and by the 14th minute of the game, they were on course for a win after scoring from a counter. Then, early in the second half, whatever Moldova hoped in terms of a playoff spot disappeared as their defender, Vladislav Bobolo, was sent off after getting a second yellow card. Czechia capitalized on Moldova being 1 man down and scored another goal through debutant Tomáš Souček, who scored his first international goal. With their second goal, Czechia were firmly in control of the game. In the last minutes of the game, their captain, Souček, scored a cool goal. Czechia had done it. They have now qualified for the main tournament, and it can only get more difficult from there. Do they have what it takes to put up a respectable performance in the main tournament? Well, history suggests so, but if they are going to do that, they have to be dominant against Portugal. Who will win? Portugal have a crazy Euro record. The record isn't full of trophies, but it could be argued to be impressive. Since their tournament debut in 1984, Portugal have qualified for the Euro 9 times, with the 9th being their recent qualification for the upcoming 2024 Euro. They have advanced past the group stage in every Euro they've participated in. They have even reached the semi-finals 5 times. There's more. They also reached the final as hosts in 2004, but they lost to tournament underdogs Greece. That match was beyond shocking. It was one of the miracles of the competition. Greece, who had made it to the final, were the underdogs, and they embraced their role as every member of the team put everything on the line. They were in the faces of Portugal players and prevented the bulk of Portuguese talents from doing anything spectacular. How Greece played was very simple. They defended and relied on set pieces. It was a frustrating style, but it worked, and it sucked the life out of Portugal. Then, Greece scored, And Portugal didn't show the urgency of a team that wanted to equalise. Despite having the best players and a golden generation, Portugal could only look on as the game passed by. They lost that final and would only get another chance at a final in 2016. However, how they got to that final was lucky, at least according to football fans who weren't supporting Portugal. In 2016, Portugal barely made it out of the group, and when they did, the expectation was they wouldn't get past the round of 16, considering how poor they were in the group stage. However, Portugal surprised everyone. They managed to beat Croatia in the round of 16 through a Ricardo Quaresma goal in extra time. They then beat Poland on penalties in the quarter-finals and Wales in the semi-final during regulation time. That win against Wales would be Portugal's first win in regulation time since they entered the knockout stage. Even their win against France didn't come in regulation time, and it came after heavy pressure from France. Finally, Portugal had won the Euro. Their years of getting past the group stages without winning anything had ended, even if it didn't look pretty. Portugal's Euro 2020 performance was incredibly poor. They got past the group again as the best losers, but this time they didn't get past the round of 16 as they lost to Belgium. This 2024 competition is their opportunity to right their Euro 2020 wrongs, but can they do it? Can they begin their campaign by winning against Czechia? Well, Czechia is Euro royalty and have even participated in 10 Euros with the upcoming 11th participation in the 2024 Euro. Wait, let me explain. Czechia was formerly part of Czechoslovakia. So, as part of Czechoslovakia, they participated in 3 Euros. Their first participation was in the first edition of the Euro in 1960, and their performance earned them a third-place finish after they beat France. In 1976, Czechoslovakia won the Euro and came close again in 1980, but had to settle for a third-place finish again. Czechia began to participate independently in the Euro in 1996, and they came close to winning it. After a group stage defeat to Germany in their first match, Czechia shook away the defeat and went on to reach the final, where they played Germany again. Unfortunately, they didn't have what it took to defeat Germany. Still, a second-place finish wasn't so bad. After a poor Euro 2000, where they didn't leave the group stage, Czech were impressive in the 2004 Euro and reached the semi-finals before losing to eventual winners, Greece. The next time Czechia would get past the group stage would be in the 2012 Euro, where they reached the quarter-finals, a feat they also repeated in the 2020 Euro. Can Czechia outdo themselves in the 2024 edition of the Euro? Can they announce themselves in the competition by beating Portugal? If Czechia beat Portugal, it wouldn't be the first time they would beat a team superior to them. Also, it would be payback for what they have suffered at the hands of Portugal at the Euro. Portugal is one of the reasons why Czechia had a poor outing in the 2008 Euro. Although Czechia didn't start the competition strongly, their defeat to Portugal ended any chance of them progressing in that competition. Czechia just didn't have any answer to the combined brilliance of Deco, Cristiano Ronaldo and Ricardo Quaresma, who all got on the score sheet. In the 2012 Euro, where Czechia reached the quarter-finals, Portugal beat them through a Ronaldo goal and ended their Euro dreams that year. As you can see, historically at the competition, Czechia haven't been able to match the brilliance of Portugal in the competition. However, this doesn't mean that they cannot beat Portugal. Czechia can also draw from history, and remember that a resolute Greece was able to stop Portugal through some excellent display of teamwork. So if Czechian players are able to be united in this purpose, maybe they could cause a similar upset. Or what do you think? Players to watch. So, I mentioned that Czechian players have to show an incredible amount of teamwork if they hope to beat Portugal. For that to happen, their star player and captain, midfielder Tomáš Souček, has quite the task on his hands. Already, Souček has shown that he can contribute to the Czechian attack. Now he must show that he can contribute to their mental strength, because they will need a lot of it, not just to beat Portugal, but if they are going to go far in the competition. Apart from Souček, striker Patrik Schick is another player Czechia can fully rely on, and like Souček, it's not just about goals, but the leadership he also brings to the team. Czechia will need all the leadership and player quality they can get, because Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes are both mentality monsters. Sure, Ronaldo isn't who he once was in terms of player quality, but in the Saudi Pro League, he has shown that he still has what it takes to still play competitive football. Now, with Bruno Fernandes supporting Ronaldo, Portugal will be an even more devastating team, along with the midfield dynamo in Bernardo Silva and the reliable Diogo Jota. Can Czechia survive their match against Portugal? Well, what do you think? The fans who would be watching the match at the Leipzig Stadium are definitely in for a treat with this match. The venue. The Leipzig Stadium was opened in 2004, and it is currently the home stadium for RB Leipzig. The stadium has hosted some incredible games. It was a venue for some matches in the 2006 FIFA World Cup, with 4 group matches and round of 16 games in the tournament played in it. Also, it was one of the grounds for the 2005 FIFA Confederations Cup and hosted 3 tournament matches, including the 3rd place match. Now, it is one of the grounds for the 2024 Euro, and the organisers couldn't have picked a better ground. Portugal and Czechia have a lot to prove. While Portugal have always gone past the group stages in all of the Euros they've participated in, it hasn't translated to an impressive title cabinet for them, and this tournament could be where they make history. The same goes for Czechia. They have tasted glory as part of Czechoslovakia, but have only come agonizingly close as Czechia. Can they finally get that Euro glory in this competition? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more exciting content like this.